This presentation is made by Yatharth Vats, second year chemical engineering undergraduate at Dr. B.R. Ambedkar National Institute of Technology, Jalandhar. The presentation is made under the guidance of Dr. Shashikant Yadav. The aim of the presentation is to discuss about the heat transfer correlations which are present in external flows. So the contents of the presentation are mentioned below. First of all, I shall be giving a brief description about convection, its subtypes, which are free and forced convection. Then we have external versus internal flows. I shall be discussing here differences between external and internal flows. Then coming to the main point of our presentation, that is external flows, we shall be talking about the flows which are external, the types of in the type of flows, which flows are considered to be external, what are the conditions and the parameters that makes a flow external, and after that we shall be discussing the various correlations which we have of heat transfer in external flows for the various conditions, majorly flow over a flat plate, and the various correlations which are used in flow over a flat plate, flow across bank of tubes, and the various correlations associated with it, the flow across a cylinder, and the various correlations which are related with the flow across a cylinder, and the heat transfer coefficient in packed and fluidized beds, and the correlations associated with it. So let's get started. So what basically convection is? Convection is the mode of heat transfer in which the heat transfer takes place through a fluid caused by molecular motion. As you can see in this image, all the three forms of heat transfer could be observed: conduction, convection, and radiation. So our main focus is on convection. So the heat transfer which is by convective mode is, here you could see the molecules which are present at the boundary of this container. The molecules which are present at the surface of the container are transferring heat to the fluid in the above container. The heat transfer takes place by their motion. Here they get heated up at the boundary, their density decreases, and they rise above the container. The particles present on the surface being tensed, then they come at the bottom, they get heated up, their density decreases, and they rise above the surface. So this is how the process takes place. Now coming to the forced convection. Forced convection is a mechanism or type of transport in which fluid motion is generated by an external source. As you can see here in the image, the convection which takes place forcefully, that it's done by an external agent by attaching a pump or a fan or a suction device. Alongside natural convection, thermal radiation, and thermal conduction, it is one of the methods of heat transfer and allows significant amount of heat energy to be transported very efficiently. So how the process takes place here is, the fluid is allowed to flow over a surface Let it be a solid hot surface with a temperature Ts. The fluid is here is forcefully flown above the boundary, so it has some temperature T. As the fluid flows over the hot surface, its temperature gradually increases. So suppose the boundary is at a higher temperature and the fluid is at a lower temperature. So as the fluid progresses forward, its temperature increases due to convection. Here we have free convection. It is also called as natural convection. It is a mechanism in which the fluid motion is generated naturally only by density differences in the fluid occurring due to temperature gradients, and not any external source like a pump or a fan is attached. So this phenomenon takes place naturally, no external agent or any driving force is subjected to the process. So here you could see the fluid is present in the vessel, it's getting heated up. So the molecules which are present at the boundary of the container, they get heated up. As their temperature increases, their density decreases. So there is a density difference gets created between the molecules of the fluid. Here which molecules are present, they are at lower temperature and higher density, and which are at the bottom of the surface are at higher temperature and lower density. So they tend to rise, and the molecules at the surface, they tend to go down. So this is how the fluid gets heated up and the convection process takes place. So that's why it's called free or natural phenomenon. Now coming to the flow of fluids, we have two kinds of flows: external and internal flows. A fluid flow is classified as being external or internal depending on whether the fluid is forced to flow in confined channel or over a surface. The flow of an unbounded fluid over a surface such as plate, a wire, or a pipe is external flow, and the flow bounded by a solid surface like water flowing in a pipe is considered as internal flow. As you could see in the image, we can observe both the external and internal flows. Here the air is passing across the duct, which is an example of external flow, and here is the internal flow where the water is passing through inside the duct. So this image shows us both the external and internal flows over the same pipe. So here external flow is such a flow in which boundary layers develop freely without constraints imposed by adjacent surfaces. In comparison to internal flow, external flow feature highly viscous effects confined to rapidly growing boundaries in the entrance region or to thin shear layers along the solid surfaces. As I explained in the previous slide, the external flows are confined or constrained by the adjacent surfaces. Our external flows are not confined and constrained by the external surfaces. So yeah, let's move on to next slide. So here we have the correlations for the heat transfer coefficient. Mathematical analysis of convective heat problems is complicated due to the large number of variables involved. So majority of the convective problems are analyzed through the technique of dimensional analysis supported by experimental investigations. With variables pertinent to the situation known, the dimensional analysis helps to develop certain correlations for the convective coefficient. The constants and exponents operating in these correlations for a particular situation are worked out through experiments. Attention has been directed in the presentation to present a collection of the existing relations for the frequently encountered cases of free and forced convection, which we shall be discussing in our coming slides. The convectivity transfer in external flow is encountered on many physical situations. Typical cases are flat flow over a flat plate, across a single pipe or a number of pipes, across a sphere or a bundle of spheres. So here's why do we need correlations. As I told you, to make things less complicated, mathematical analysis of convectivity problems is difficult due to large number of variables involved. So basically, correlations make our task easier. So we have the correlations, different correlations given by different people for flow over a flat plate, flow across a cylinder, flow across a spherical body, and flow across packed fluidized beds. So let's look into it. So for flow over a flat plate, heat transfer in flow over a flat plate occurs to the boundary layer formed on the plate. As you could see in the image, we have a hot surface and the fluid flows over the surface. Let us consider the flow of a fluid over an immersed white flat plate, as it could be seen from the image, at zero angle of incidence, which means that the plate is oriented along the direction of flow of the bulk fluid. Fluid velocity at the surface of the plate is zero. That is because of the no slip condition at the surface of the layer, and gradually increases with the distance from the plate. At a sufficiently large distance from the plate, the fluid velocity becomes equal to the free stream velocity. As we move further away from the surface, the viscous force which is exerted by the surface of the layer decreases. That's why the fluid flows with the free stream velocity. The region above the plate surface within which this change of velocity from 0 to the free stream value occurs is called the boundary layer, or more specifically the velocity boundary layer. The thickness of this region is called the boundary layer thickness and is denoted by delta. The boundary layer thickness increases with the distance from the leading edge of the plate. The characteristics of boundary layer flow depend upon the Reynolds number, which we have R equals to rho v x by mu, x distance from the point O. Here x is variable. The fluid flow in the boundary layer remains laminar up to a point on the plate where Reynolds number is in the range of 10 to the power 5 to 5 into 10 to the power 5, which is also called the critical Reynolds number. When the Reynolds number increases beyond this value, the transition to turbulent boundary layer begins. So it's enough of the boundary layer specifications. Let's move on to the correlation for flow over a flat plate. For heat transfer in laminar boundary layer flow, the following correlation for the lowest Nusselt number can be obtained from an approximate solution of the boundary layer equations of momentum and energy. It depends upon the distance from the leading edge of the plate. So here you could see the relation Nusselt number equals to 0.332 into Reynolds number to the power 1 by 2 multiplied by Prandtl number to the power 1 by 3. The conditions for the applicability of this correlation is Prandtl number should be between 0.5 to 50. So now coming to the flow across a cylinder. Transverse flow of liquid across a cylinder is an important flow situation in industrial heat transfer situation. For example, a hot process steam flowing through a pipe may be cooled via blowing air across a pipe. Here too a boundary layer forms over the cylinder, as you can see in the image. The point A is called stagnation point because the fluid velocity is 0 at this point and the pressure is maximum. The distance of a point on the cylinder from the stagnation point is given by the linear measure x, or we can also say that angular measure of theta. As one moves away from the stagnation point along the periphery, the boundary layer decelerates and its thickness increases. So here we have the relation the correlation for flow across a cylinder. Here it's given by this equation h equals to 1 by L of integration from 0 to L hx dx. Where x is the distance from the leading edge of the plate and hx is local heat transfer coefficient over a distance L. Nusselt number equals to 0.664 into Reynolds number to the power 1 by 2 multiplied by Prandtl number to the power 1 by 3. This was for the laminar flow condition. For the turbulent flow layer flow, we have the following correlation. Nusselt number equals to 0.0296 multiplied by Reynolds number to the power 4 by 5 multiplied by Prandtl number to the power 1 by 3. Here again we have the condition for the applicability of this correlation. Reynolds number should be bounded by the range 5 into 10 to the power 5 to 10 to the power 7, and the conditions apply for the Prandtl number too. The correlation is applicable when the Prandtl number is in the range of 0.6 to 60. Now let's discuss a situation where we shall be making the use of this correlation that we obtained here. So suppose the situation is the air is flowing over a given flat surface of a given length and oriented in the given direction of flow, maintained at a certain temperature, and we have been given the velocity, certain velocity of air, and we are asked to calculate the average heat transfer coefficient. So in this situation, this correlation shall come to use, and we shall be able to calculate the average heat transfer coefficient over the given length of the plate. So let's move to the next condition, that is flow across a cylinder. So for cross flow of a liquid over a cylinder, the heat transfer coefficient can be calculated by the following correlation, which was proposed by Fand. Here the coefficient, over here the correlation is given. The Nusselt number equals to H by K equals to 0.035 plus 0.56 multiplied by Reynolds number to the power 0.52, the whole multiplied by Prandtl number to the power 0.3. So here also we have the condition for the applicability of this correlation. As we discussed earlier about the flow across the cylinder, here we could have this situation where we could have a laminar flow through a circular pipe or a turbulent flow across a circular pipe. So now this correlation that we have here is given by Eckert and Drake for flow across the cylinder. So here the relation is Nusselt number equals to 0.43 plus 0.50 multiplied by the Reynolds numbers to the power 0.5, the whole multiplied by the Prandtl number to the power 0.38, multiplied this by the ratio of Prandtl number divided by the PRW. This is the Prandtl number at the wall temperature. That's why it's denoted by the subscript of W. The Prandtl number at the wall. So this correlation is applicable to both gases and liquids. Now coming to our next correlation. So this correlation we have here is given by Churchill and Bernstein, which says Nusselt number equals to 0.3 plus this given figure, that is 0.62 multiplied by Reynolds number, square root of Reynolds number multiplied by cube root of Prandtl number, d divided by 1 plus 0.4 divided by Prandtl number whole to the power 2 by 3, bracket close, to the power 1 by 4, the whole multiplied by 1 plus Reynolds number divided by the given number to the power 5 by 8, whole power to the 4 by 5. So here also the condition for the applicability of this correlation is Reynolds number should lie in between this range, that is 10 to the power 2 to 10 to the power 7, and Reynolds number multiplied by Prandtl number should be greater than 0.2. So that is the condition for applicability of this correlation, which is applied in the flow of a fluid over across a cylindrical figure. So let's Here we have one more correlation for the flow across a cylinder, which was given by Whittaker. So Whittaker suggested the following correlation. This correlation involves a maximum error of plus minus 25%. So the correlation says Nusselt number equals to 0.40 multiplied by Reynolds number to the power 1 by 2 plus 0.06 multiplied by Reynolds number to the power 2 by 3 whole multiplied by the Prandtl number multiplied to the power 0.4 multiplied by mu w to the power 0.25. Here also we have the applicability condition of this theorem, this correlation, I beg your pardon. So the correlation is only valid when the Reynolds number is in the range of 40 to 105 and Prandtl number should be between the range of 0.65 to 300 and the ratio of mu w should be between 0.25 to 5.2. So these are the conditions for the applicability of this correlation. So let's discuss a situation where we shall be using the correlations which are applicable in flow across a cylinder. So we could have a situation where we could have a heating wire of given diameter and carrying a value of current and a given electrical resistance. There could be a airflow across the heated wire at a given velocity. And we could be asked the temperature of the wire at steady state. So in the said situation, we will use the Churchill and Bernstein's relation, which was this relation. So to calculate the heat transfer coefficient, putting the values of Reynolds number and Prandtl number in this equation, we can calculate the value of heat transfer coefficient. So let's come to another situation of external fluid flow. So here we have the condition of flow past a sphere. So when a fluid flow passes through across a spherical object, when the fluid flow takes place across the spherical object, we have the following correlations. So let's discuss them one by one. So here is the correlation which was proposed by Kramer. For flow of liquids past a sphere, Kramer proposed the following correlation in 1946, which says Nusselt number divided by Prandtl number to the power 0.3 equals to 0.97 plus 0.68 multiplied by Reynolds number to the square root of Reynolds number. So again we have the condition of validity. So for the correlation to be valid, we need to have our Reynolds number in the given range of 1 to 200. So when the Reynolds number is in the range of 1 to 200, so basically Reynolds number it determines the kind of flow. If it's a laminar or turbulent or transition flow. So basically Reynolds number what it tells is the kind of flow. So according to the kind of flow, we use the correlation. So here the required condition of Reynolds number is this. So we have another correlation which was suggested by Whittaker. Here it says Nusselt number equals to 2 plus to the whole bracket 0.4 multiplied by square root of Reynolds number plus 0.06 multiplied by Reynolds number to the power 2 by 3 whole multiplied by the Prandtl number to the power 0.4 multiplied with this ratio of mu. So let's discuss a situation where we will be using these correlations. Suppose we have been given a ball of ice of given diameter at a given temperature and it is suspended in a dry airstream at given temperature and velocity. So we could be asked the initial rate of melting of ice, or we could be asked the time taken for the ice to melt away. So there we shall be making the use of these correlations. So let's come to the another situation which we have here. The external flow of fluid across a bank of tubes. So cross flow of a fluid, particularly of a gas like air, over a tube bank, they may be aligned or staggered, is important in many heat transfer applications and equipments. So we have some applications such as waste heat recovery from hot flue gases, flow of hot combustion gas across the tube bank in a water tube boiler, air flow over tubes containing refrigerants in an air cooler, etc. Here the figure shows the cross section of aligned and staggered aligned tube banks. So we'll discuss about the correlations which we have for the flow of a fluid across a bank of tubes. So here we have this correlation which was proposed by Zhukovskas. So the correlation says Nusselt number equals to h bar multiplied by d divided by k equals to this required equation, given equation. Here h bar is the mean heat transfer velocity and R equals to Reynolds number, PR we have the Prandtl number, PRW is the wall Prandtl number. So we could use the given correlation when we have the given situation of flow across a bank of tubes. So here we have another condition, heat transfer coefficient in packed and fluidized bed. So heat transferred from a gas flowing through a packed bed of solid is important in various industrial applications. For example, we can say a gas solid catalytic reactor heat generated by an exothermic chemical reaction inside the catalyst pellets conducted through the pellets and then convected to the reaction mixture. So here we have the following correlation. Here this St is the Stanton number. And Rad equals to is the particular Reynolds number, dp diameter of the effective diameter of a particle, and V naught is this superficial fluid velocity. So let's once again go through all the topics that we discussed in this presentation. So we started with the basics. What is convection, which is a mode of heat transfer in which the heat transfer takes place through the molecular motion. Then we discussed about this phenomena. Then we talked about the forced types of convection, which is which are forced and free convection. Here we talked about the forced convection, which is a mechanism in which the fluid motion is generated by an external source. So we force the convection to take place by adding a external agent such as a pump or a suction device, etc. So the another type is the free convection. It is also known as natural convection, in which the fluid motion is generated only by the density differences in the fluid occurring due to temperature gradients. It's not carried out with the aid of any external agent, and that's why it is known as free convection. So talking about the flows, the main aim of our presentation was to discuss the correlations in external flows. So here we talked about the differences between the external and internal flows. So internal flows are the ones in which the fluid flow is constrained by any surface, say like gases or oil flow takes place through pipelines. So this flow which takes place inside the ducts or pipes is known as internal flow, whereas the flow which is not constrained by any surface and the fluid flows over a certain surface, that like this in this figure you can see the fluid flow is external, air is channeled across this duct and it's not confined by any walls, that's why it's known as external flows. So here also we talked about the what are external flows. So the coming to the main point of our presentation, that was the correlations which we were here to discuss about the heat transfer which we have in external flows. So our first condition was the flow over a flat plate which occurs through the boundary layer formed on the plate. Here you could see the free stream and the eddies forming laminar sublayer, and we have the different forms of flows, that is the laminar flow, the transitional flow, and here it was our first case, that correlations for flow over a flat plate. We had the correlation which was given by this Nusselt number equals to this and this. So here was the case of flow across a cylinder. So you could see the transverse flow of liquid across cylinder is a very important situation in industrial heat transfer situation. So here we have this correlation in the flow across a cylindrical object or a duct. So this is the correlation, and for the turbulent boundary layer flow, this was for the laminar flow, and here the below one is for the turbulent boundary layer flow with this given condition of applicability. Here we have the condition of flow across a cylinder and the correlation proposed by Fand, which is given here, and the another correlation which we had was given by Eckert and Drake, and the condition of its applicability. Here is another correlation for the fluid flow and external flow across the cylindrical figure, which was given by Churchill and Bernstein, and here is the required condition for its applicability. Here is the another correlation in the same case of fluid flow across a cylindrical figure, which is given as here, and its condition of applicability. So this one is the condition of the flow past a sphere and the correlations. This one was proposed by Kramer and the second one was given by Whittaker. So here is the situation of flow across a bank of tubes. Here is the correlation which was proposed by Zhukovskas, which is the given correlation of for Nusselt number, and here is the correlation for the heat transfer in pack and fluidized bed. So I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much for listening.